Hi, this is Doug Rubin. I'm the broker of record with Keller Williams Legacy, and I just wanted to create a quick video going over some of the requirements for your marketing compliance. So fortunately, the Maryland Real Estate Commission has come up with a really helpful checklist that's going to be a good resource for you as you're putting your marketing materials together. But I wanted to go through some of the highlights and the frequently asked questions. So the first piece is to just make sure that your name on the advertisement actually matches what's on your license. And if you have a nickname that you go by, make sure that that nickname is also reflected on the license. So they just need to match up. Second, if you happen to put your job title essentially into the advertisement, it also needs to match your license. So if it would say salesperson, you need to make sure that you're actually a salesperson. If it says broker, you need to make sure you're a broker. So just make sure everything matches up. Now the big compliance piece that some people do miss is to make sure you have the full brokerage name and the office telephone number for the brokerage. The policy here is that the Maryland Real Estate Commission wants to allow the public to reach out to the broker or the brokerage if they have questions or concerns. So for all of your advertisements, it needs to have the words Keller Williams Legacy. It can't just be a logo, you can't abbreviate, it has to spell out the name of the brokerage. You also need to provide, in addition to your personal cell phone or however you want to be contacted, make sure the office phone number is on there too. Now, you also need to have, perhaps obviously, authority to advertise something. So if you're advertising a property, if you have a listing agreement, that's perfect. That's permission to advertise. If you want to associate yourself with any other properties, perhaps another property from a different brokerage, some people will do that for marketing purposes, but you need to have permission, written permission in all those instances. Now, one of the big ones is obviously making sure that the advertisement is true and accurate. Now, we all use kind of terms to puff up a property, and you can use adjectives like cute or luxurious. All of that is okay, but when it comes to the verifiable details, you need to make sure you're doing your due diligence and that everything is correct. Bedrooms, bathrooms, if you're making a representation as to school district, all that needs to be accurate and true. If you happen to be a part of a team, there are some extra compliance requirements. So one of the big things that's set out in the Real Estate Commission is that a brokerage can't put itself out there, or a team can't put itself out there kind of as its own brokerage, right? So if you're a member of a team, you want to have your own name on your advertisement as an individual agent, show the team name as well, but then you need to make sure that that team name is attached to the brokerage. So it could be Best Team Real Estate with Keller Williams Legacy, at Keller Williams Legacy. So those things need to be tied together to make it clear to the public who the broker is. A couple of final points. There are restrictions against offering inducements, is what it's called. So basically, if you are going to put forth any sort of compensation or even a raffle in your advertisement, you need to be very, very careful that you're not improperly inducing somebody to making an offer. There are some carve-outs. For instance, at an open house, you're allowed to enter those people into a drawing. So it's fairly nuanced. Just make sure if you're doing anything compensation related or lottery related, make sure that you reach out to myself or somebody in leadership, and we'll make sure that you're in compliance. The Real Estate Commission also makes a point that you cannot pay an unlicensed person any kind of compensation for a referral. A referral in the state of Maryland is considered real estate brokerage services, so you can never pay somebody for a referral. You can give another agent a referral fee, but that's different. So just make sure that you're not violating that rule in any of your advertisement. And finally, if you have an ownership interest yourself in something that you're advertising, that's something you need to disclose to the public as well. So this is kind of an overview. Please consult this checklist and make sure before you spend any money or put out a really big advertising campaign, run it by me, run it by someone in leadership, and we'll make sure that all your advertising is compliant.